spend $250 on Closet Made completions, you get a $30 Lowe's gift card free. So hurry into Lowe's today, where you'll find hundreds of storage solutions and an unforgettable offer on Closet Made. Lowe's, improving home improvement.
There's a reason RE/MAX agents average more sales than other real estate people. RE/MAX agents want every transaction to be as perfect as possible. With all their experience, they know that a little extra effort can make a big difference to sellers and buyers.
Can you fly?
RE/MAX. Outstanding agents. Outstanding results.
Florida's natural premium orange juice is made just from our fresh oranges, not from concentrate. And it's the only leading brand owned by a small co-op of growers. Since we own the land, the trees, and the company, only our personal best goes into every carton. Florida's natural. It's as close to the grove as you can get.
Fritzy, more than just a ranch hand, brought to you by Eukanuba. After Diane Castema lost the use of her 2 legs, she gained the strength of 4. Fritzy. Relying on her total body health, this canine companion displays astonishing agility and stamina. To do her job, Fritzy eats Eukanuba. Its exclusive Vital Health system delivers nutrients when and where they're needed for optimal health, which includes a sharp mind. Eukanuba, what healthy dogs are made of, from the Iams Company.
Now, I knew from the start that this house could look a lot better, but what's a miracle is how much better it looks. But before we show it to you, take a look at where we started. Jay Quo and Brian Browning's old stucco home used to be pretty hard to see with a giant tree in front of it. As the tree grew bigger, our homeowners grew sadder, and only designer Marty Dykes could cure what ailed him with a curbside makeover.
So have you guys thought about color at all?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe like a magenta.
My favorite.
No, seriously, something sunny and Mediterranean.
Which would be nice.
Yeah.
First, he made a clean slate by saying goodbye to the misplaced evergreen. Then came a new staircase, a very different porch, good-looking tile on the stairs, paint in shades of yellow, and a brand new landscape. And although the results speak for themselves, I've seen a lot of transformations, and this is one of our biggest. What used to be an unattractive vista coming down the street is now the focal point for the entire block. The old entry was hard to see, and the sideways stairs didn't beckon you in. Now the entry is the best part of this house. The new stairway and planters have a totally different feeling. They make you want to walk up the new front porch. And the small mosaic patterns on the landing are a cool touch that add a lot of class to this entry. Then there's the front yard. The main thing you used to notice out here were the meters and strange windows to nowhere. Now the new landscaping makes the yard look neat and full and really complements the rest of this project. Altogether, this is one house that doesn't miss a tree.
Hey, Marty.
Hey, Jay.
Hey, Brian.
Hi, Marty. Good to see you.
So
Check out the crib.
It is awesome.
We love it.
It's great.
It looks just like your pictures, except yellow.
Looks like they're on board.
Well, my favorite part of the project definitely is the stairwell. Now it's very inviting and open, and so I love that. That's just great.
I think one of the favorite things of mine of the house is the front door. I know it's something really simple, but it was really ugly before. The paint color was coming off. Just that little bit of trim that was added around the door, I just think makes it really nice and inviting.
Without the tree there, we actually can see the house driving down our street. It's very welcoming and terrific.
You guys are happy.
We're very happy.
It turned out fantastic.
So am I.
Working with Marty has been fantastic. Marty is extremely patient, especially with two very retentive people like us. He's also got an eye for color as well as design. Of course, that's why he's a designer.
You've done so much to this house, and I'm wondering, what's your favorite part?
It would have to be the staircase, Rick. I'm just really happy with how it turned out, but especially because it balances the overall facade, which is great.
I love this detail up here. I just love that.
Yeah, I'm really happy how the mosaics turned out. We needed some human scale detail, and by that I mean something you can appreciate when you're up close, not just large expanse of blank material. And I think that's what it accomplishes.
Well, this project really came together. It looks great. You got the color, the tile, everything. You guys are happy, right?
Very happy.
All right. Jay, Brian, excellent job. Marty, great job as usual. Now, I understand that Jay is quite the comedian and does imitations. So maybe you could finish the show with something for us.
Hello, I'm Rick Spence, and today on Curb Appeal, we're going to take this Mediterranean row house and turn it into a villa. We're going to add some design elements that really pop.
You know, that's it. You can finish the show. Finish the show. I'm done. Gotta be loose, a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah, okay.
You're not angry at the house. You're happy about the house. Yeah, there you go. See?
Punch.
I think you got it. I think you got it.
Zing.
You're ready to host the show. I'm out of here. I'm done.
On the next Extreme Homes. You'll have to travel by air or by sea to tour this floating lodge. Find out why it was built to be so portable. Then, a seafaring family sets anchor for good. And here's one train that's quite at home on the water. Extreme Homes, Sunday night at 10 on HGTV.
How's that work? The show that takes you inside the stuff inside your home. Does a microwave really nuke food? How does an air conditioner condition the air? What makes a light bulb light up? Get the answers to these questions and more on How's That Work? Sunday at 10:30 only on HGTV, Home and Garden Television.
The following HGTV program is a special presentation.
You're about to get a taste of some Miami spice as we tour 6 beautiful homes in the Magic City. We'll visit Christina, one of the country's most popular TV personalities, for a tour of her tropical Mediterranean villa. Cool down the heat with a visit to the Miami home of architect and designer Allison Spear. And hear the story of a couple who took 7 years to take their dream house from this to this. And they never regretted a minute of it. These fascinating homes and more on Homes of Miami. Welcome to Homes of Miami. I'm Nancy Glass. Our first guest brought new meaning to the words fixer-upper. When Al Diaz and his wife Cindy Sipe went looking for a Miami home in need of a little TLC, they had no idea their tender-loving project would take the better part of 7 years. The owners of this Miami home have always looked at houses a little differently than most people. Maybe that's why they saw the potential in this Spanish-style house stripped of its charm and grace at the hands of too many owners.
I asked a realtor friend to find an old Spanish fixer-upper. And so she found this one, and I came out here and I was like, oh no.
But deep down, the hands-on homeowners knew the 1925 house would be a perfect project. It was just the kind of thing Miami Herald photographer Al Diaz and his wife Cindy Sipe, a graphic designer at the paper, loved. Before buying the house in 1993, they got their hands on an original set of blueprints for it.
As bad as it looked when you're standing in front of it, it didn't look half bad in the blueprint.
Right.
So it didn't seem like such a crazy idea.
Right.
The 2,200 square foot house located in Coral Gables, a popular Miami suburb, needed it all. New wiring, plumbing, even a floor. But Cindy and Al were committed to restoring the home's original character.
That's what we love, is to see something that needs work.
Yeah, we thought we can bring it back.
With a limited budget but untapped creativity, renovations began in an upstairs guest bathroom. Cindy wanted clean and simple subway tiles on the walls, something to offset the elaborate Cuban tiles on the floor. But when she priced the wall tiles, she had second thoughts, and then she got a great idea.
She says, you know what, I can make those tiles. So I was like, yeah, sure, Cindy.
Al quickly became a believer. Using a rolling pin to flatten the clay, Cindy handmade 2,000 wall tiles, then had them fired at a local ceramic shop. When the couple's cats began to walk on the tiles before they dried, Cindy decided she liked the look and included those tiles on the wall as well.
I noticed they left a really cool paw print, so I tried to encourage them to come back and walk through some more. But no cats were hurt in the making of these tiles.
Weekends were spent at estate sales, antique fairs, and flea markets. That's where the couple found many of the furnishings for their downstairs living room. The trick was finding plush fabrics and colors that would tie all of the furniture pieces together, and styles like this chaise lounge to soften the rectangular shape of the room.
It has like one arm and a little back, but it actually makes the room appear bigger than it is because it doesn't have that massive back with arms.
A brick fireplace was painted to look like stone, a better match for the Spanish-style house. Above the mantel, an unusual find became the perfect accent.
So it was actually a panel that was inserted into a door.
And somebody framed it. We think it's nice.
In the connecting dining room, food and furnishings have a vibrant backdrop, red walls. A French china cabinet came from a Miami antique store, while the oak table was discovered at a garage sale. Cindy designed the chandelier above it and had it made by a local ironsmith. Mismatched chairs were added later to keep the room from feeling formal. A corner cabinet purchased at an estate sale cinched the look.
It fits here perfect. It's like it was actually built for our house.
In 1998, after 5 years of hard work, Al and Cindy's 3-bedroom home was coming together beautifully, but it still needed a major renovation, one that included new windows in every room and a brand new kitchen with old-world charm. Cabinets were given a chocolate on cherry stain finish, while counters were topped with Carrara marble.
I want it to look aged. I want it to look like a French pastry chef was in here.
On the floor, new terracotta tiles surround a colorful pattern of Cuban tiles.
Tile in the kitchen is from an old hotel in downtown Miami, and I went and bought it, and we installed it in the kitchen. So when you walk in that space, it feels like it was always there.
One of the shining additions to the kitchen is its iron chandelier, discovered when Al and Cindy drove past a man who was carrying it to a trash heap.
He was going to put it in the dump, and we said, "Oh, stop!" We opened up our trunk, and he loaded it up for us. And all it really required was some rewiring, and all we basically did was wax it, so the wrought iron comes out real well. Now we have a nice light that's vintage, that actually came from the 20s, and it was fun to get to.
No one would have blamed Al and Cindy if their ambitious renovations ended there, but there was still exterior work to be done. During renovations, the enclosed porch you see here was used for storage. But once the inside of the house was complete, Al and Cindy restored the charming outdoor porch.
It had beautiful arched openings, and someone closed them in and put awning-type windows, so they had square openings.
After adding authentic barrel tiles to the roof, Cindy spent 3 months painting. Make that sponge painting the stucco exterior of the house.
I used the latex paint with some water and a sea sponge. Took 3 sea sponges to paint the whole house. It was kind of fun after a while. And I got a great suntan.
They always had a plan. They just never had a timeline. Maybe Maybe that's why Al Diaz and Cindy Sipe went through 7 years of renovations and still had a sense of humor. Today, their home is everything they imagined it could be, and was when a South Florida city called Miami was beginning to emerge.
One of my goals was to save an old house that was ready to be torn down, which this one was a prime candidate for it. We think we accomplished trying to get it back to the vision of the original architect.
Al and Cindy's home is now listed on the Register of Historic Places in Coral Gables. And in the year 2000, 900 people toured their house as part of an effort to raise money for the preservation of other historic landmarks in and around Miami. There are more fascinating homes ahead. Up next, Miami Ice, beating the heat with style in the Magic City. And still ahead, a house tour with Latin America's favorite TV personality, Christina.
Hi, I'm Christina. You're watching Homes of Miami, and later you'll see my Miami home.
Are you clueless when it comes to decorating? Then don't miss Design on a Dime, tonight at 10:30 on HGTV.
You can't get lost. Slow down, enjoy the ride.
It's not just a drive. It's a 120-mile detour from the rest of the world. The Florida Keys and Key West. Come as you are.
Refinancing your mortgage is fast and easy with Ditech.com.
Ditech's loan process was great. They helped us accomplish several things. We combined the first and the second. We got cash out, and we went to a 15-year loan. It was a wonderful experience.
If you're thinking about refinancing your mortgage, call or log on to Ditech.com for today's low fixed rate. Our loan process is fast and easy. Ditech.com. Call 1-800-71-FIXED.
Today, your home is probably your best investment. So today, there's no better time to come to Lowe's. Introducing Delta Victorian faucets and accessories and beautiful Venetian bronze. And only Lowe's has them all. Lowe's has more stylish plumbing products in stock than anybody else. And no one ever beats Lowe's prices. Because Lowe's has low prices every day. Guaranteed. That's our promise. Lowe's. Improving home improvement.
Monday on Design at 9. Their house is a little too bright. I just don't know what to do with the house. What they need is some curb appeal. Then, this big empty bedroom is a real designer's challenge.
We haven't been able to figure out what to do with it in the last year and a half.
Design at 9. Monday at 9 on HGTV.
Check out HGTV's Love by Design, the only blind date where people decorate. Monday nights at 10:30 only on HGTV.
Our next guest lived in New York City for 16 years, then found refuge in her former hometown, Miami. Today, Allison Spear runs design firms in both cities, but it's Miami she calls home. Her approach to decorating is fresh and modern, but as you're about to see, there's plenty of room for nostalgia.
It's a bicultural city, it's a bilingual city, it's incredibly diverse. The athleticism, the architecture are all very new and modern, which to me are very appealing.
In a city of landmark buildings, this one stands out. Made famous during opening credits of the 1980s television series Miami Vice. It's a modern high-rise built in 1978, and the kind of cool and airy space architect and designer Allison Spear knew would be perfect for her and her 2 children.
When I look at a space, I don't only look at it as a decorator, I look at a space as an architect. And in this particular case, I really saw that the grand high ceilings of the living room gave a small townhouse a sense of grandeur and luxury that other houses didn't have.
In 1998, Allison spent 4 months renovating the 2,500 square foot townhouse. She removed interior walls, turning the entire first floor into one expansive living space and her own version of Miami Ice.
So I slip covered all the furniture in white. I wanted it to feel cool and comfortable, not heavy. I wanted it to feel airy and icy cold.
And she wanted to maximize the light pouring in from a wall of windows.
We don't have any drapes in the house. And the reason why is because I wanted to be able to look outside. My theory on drapes is if you don't need them, you don't have to have them.
In the living room, there's an easy mix of modern classics, like the glass-top coffee table on top of a wool flocati rug, and sentimental favorites like this 18th century chest of drawers once used in the bedroom.
It's been in my college apartment, my marriage apartment, my New York apartment, and now it's down in Florida. I'm a great believer in using whatever you have and trying to reuse it, reupholstering it, re-slip covering it, repainting it. I don't like to go in and take away everything and buy all new things.
That was the idea behind the dining room, where Allison combined beautiful and fascinating pieces from different periods in time and her life.
I like to think of it as having a modern envelope with very interesting pieces inside the envelope.
One of the room's most eye-catching pieces is this blown glass chandelier discovered in an antique shop in upstate New York.
The 1950s Venetian chandelier in the dining room I found in about 25 different pieces and had it re-put together, and that's been in a few of my homes as well.
Beneath the chandelier, a graceful table is the centerpiece of the room.
I like things like columns. I like special curves. I like things to have very unique lines. I ebonize the table, which means staining it a very, very dark black brown. And it can be very chic. It can be a very nice way to make a piece look very different.
The table is paired with see-through acrylic chairs, a choice that keeps the small space from feeling crowded or dark.
I had to make it feel bigger than it was. By using all white and transparent materials, I played a trick with the size of the space.
And there's one other subtle reason why this unusual gathering of objects blends together so well. They're all round.
Everything in the dining room was round. The round table, the round chandelier, the round paintings. So sometimes I'll take a geometric theme to give me clues about how to design a space.
The dining room is open to a modern kitchen. White cabinetry and stainless steel appliances tie this room to the rest of the main floor.
I wanted the kitchen to feel like it was part of the main space of the house. The countertops matched the floors, and the appliances were clean, stainless steel, industrial-looking appliances.
On the second floor of the two-story apartment, the cool white theme continues into the master bedroom.
I see it as my cozy little enclave. I like to think of the bedroom as a refuge and not a public space. The room has 3 different areas. The bed area, a sitting area where I can watch television and movies with my children, and a desk area, which is a home office. I hate to use it, but I can email my friends or communicate with my office from my bedroom.
Allison likes her home office tidy and attractive, so she uses recycled Tiffany jewelry boxes to hold small office supplies.
I think that sometimes that looks good to have things in the same color.
In Allison Spear's case, the choice of color is white, and the reason is simple. Even when Miami sizzles outside, this apartment stays cool and refreshing, thanks to its owner's uncluttered style and a no-sweat approach to decorating. And just in case you were wondering how tough it is to live with white furniture and 2 children, Allison says that's why she uses slip covers. Smart mom. There's more to come as we tour homes in the Magic City. Still ahead, Miami Mod, the story of one man who turned a boxy white space into a modern gem. And next, a Miami home with its own French twist.
Take one very chic design look and recreate it on a more sensible budget with Sensible Chic. Monday night at 8:30 on HGTV.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah. I'm so glad we finally did this.
And it barely cost us anything.
And I wish this moment would never end.
Well, just hit pause, honey.
Get this Go Video DVD player with progressive scan for a crisp, sharp, beautiful image at a price that's our lowest ever. Watch QVC on February 27th for this special one-day price. The Go Video DVD player. You won't believe your eyes.
Bring your family together with AT&T Broadband, and you'll find there's something for everyone. With great family entertainment from networks like ABC Family, delivering quality with lighthearted entertainment for viewers of all ages. Nickelodeon, the #1 network for kids. And Disney Channel, where kids find it first. Wall-to-wall family entertainment right in your living room. Brought to you by AT&T Broadband.
Almonds! Who wants an almond? Here, you want some almonds? You're a big fella, aren't you?
Love almonds? Grab a new Snickers almond. Milk chocolate, nougat caramel, and you guessed it, almonds. Hungry? Grab a new Snickers almond.
We're pulling over a plumber's truck. Sir, step out of the truck, please. Is there a problem, officer?
Keep your hands down there, sweetheart.
Well, well, well. This is suspicious. But I'm a plumber. So what's a plumber doing with professional strength liquid plumber glove remover? I admit it, I've used it on backed up sinks. That's pretty serious. Oh, yeah. You pour it in. It's like a missile. It cuts right through the water to deliver some serious power to that clog. Wow. Clog's gone. Professional strength liquid plumber on tough clogs. Don't get caught without it. Donuts? That's not funny.
It used to be, if you wanted relief from extra dry skin, you had to use a cream. But now, there's Curel Ultra Healing Lotion. It heals like a cream, but feels like a lotion. Ah, so if you've got extra dry skin, get the Curel.
Our next guest loved the wine region of France so much that she found a way to recreate it at home. Lydia Touzé is a former model who moved from Cape Cod to Miami and found that a city famous for its international flavor had plenty of room for her European tastes. Miami has a beat night and day. From its posh hotels to its sandy white beaches, it's tough to get bored in this trend-setting town, but it's easy to fit in. That's what Lydia Touzé discovered when she moved to Miami in 1987. 10 years later, Lydia and her husband, commercial real estate dealer Rudy Touzé, began to plan their dream house, something that would capture the look and feel of traditional style homes they had seen in France.
My husband and I, we actually did some research in Europe. We took some pictures of homes that we liked and tried to duplicate it. So I think we did a pretty good job.
The 7,000 square foot house located minutes from downtown Miami took 2 years to complete. Lydia looked to a decorator to add splashes of color to the traditional decor.
I don't have an eye like she does, and I would think, oh, there's no way that would go together, and it would just match beautifully together. So she really did help us out quite a bit.
Plenty of sit-down room and warm wood tones make the French country kitchen the heart of this home. The range hood resembles a mantelpiece and frames a hand-painted tile backsplash. On the far side of the kitchen, an elegant breakfast table becomes less formal, with a 1920s chandelier overhead.
I wanted to keep everything at antiques, but also not where you don't feel like you can go and sit down and have lunch at my table. I didn't want that feeling at all in my home.
Nearby is an open and inviting family room, dressed up with vibrant colors and a mix of French country patterns. A built-in wall unit matches the cabinetry in the adjoining kitchen and offers plenty of storage.
What is also nice in the family room is that we have a movie screen that comes down from the ceiling. And we have a DVD in with the surround sound. The whole house rocks. We try to do dinner in a movie on Friday nights at the Tuesdays, we call it. We do enjoy that a lot.
In the center of the room, an antique dining table was converted into an oversized coffee table. Above the sofa, a former church window was turned into a looking glass. On either side of the mirror hang 2 panels from a chateau door in France.
It just adds that little extra touch to the French motif in the house, and we were excited to get them. We do a lot of entertaining here in the house, and it's nice to have the kitchen and the family room as one big area because everybody always ends up in the kitchen when I'm cooking. So it's nice.
A European-style salon is also found on the first floor of the 6-bedroom house. A pair of beautifully tufted sofas make a graceful and dramatic impression in the room, often used for entertaining.
It's formal, but I think people feel like they can come in and sit on my sofas and be very comfortable. And that's the feeling that I wanted here. There's 2 chairs in front of my fireplace that I bought at a yard sale that happen to be beautiful antiques. I don't think that people knew what they were selling.
Oak floors run throughout the house, but there's an additional strip of ebony wood that frames this room.
It came out beautiful. I was so thrilled that we ended up doing it because it really makes a difference. It differentiates between the formal areas and the informal areas.
There's a tasteful line between formal and informal in Lydia Touzet's home, but elegance is clearly defined. It took 2 full years to bring this house to life, and in that time, Lydia learned that a city known for its Latin inspirations still had plenty of room for her French twist.
It was definitely worth it. Worth every heartache and everything we went through. It was worth it.
Now, Lydia says the only time she gets a little nervous about her tufted silk sofas is when someone with a beaded skirt sits down on one. But so far, so good. No snags. There's more to come on the show. Still ahead, Miami Spice, the richly decorated home of 2 Miami news anchors. And next, she's one of the biggest TV stars in the country, and the who's who of Hollywood jumps at the chance to be on her show. Christina in her Mediterranean villa next.
Hello, I'm Christina, and in a moment I'm going to show you my beautiful home on the water.
She wants country.
He wants contemporary.
We're at a little bit of an impasse.
Can they compromise? Host Michael Payne helps couples hammer out their design differences with Designing for the Sexes.
Tonight at 9:30 on HGTV.
If you're buying or selling a home in this market, tap the power of Prudential Real Estate. Backed by a name trusted for more than 125 years, the Prudential Real Estate Network can get you moving. With more than 42,000 real estate sales professionals you can rely on in offices across North America. Each day, we're helping to bring thousands of buyers and sellers together. Call today and find out why millions of people are sold on Prudential Real Estate.
Are you in on it? Go to the new cheaptickets.com with new fare search technology and lower prices than ever. Or call now for new travel deals on hotels, cars, condos, and vacation packages. Now, there's one travel site that charges no online booking fees. Save $5 to $10 per person. Cheap Tickets, the best kept secret in travel.
And now the end is near, and so I face final bidding. From A to Z, from there to here, I shop the world, all while I'm sitting brand new and collectibles, thank you, on the information superhighway. You'll save more and find things like this when you do it eBay. For what is a man? What has he got? If not a username, not a heck of a lot. You bid fair price, you make the sale. You get great value compared to retail. The feedback shows you won't get hosed when you do it
Welcome back. I'm Nancy Glass. Our next guest oversees a publishing and television empire and is in that rare league of first-name-only talents. She's Christina, respectfully called the Oprah of Spanish-speaking television, and she has the ratings and Emmys to prove it. At home in Miami, the lively talk show host likes to slow things down in a serene and tropical villa designed for family.
Yeah, she has a last name, Sarah Leahy, but all she needs to be recognized is the first, Christina. Her talk show attracts an audience of 100 million viewers, and her guest list reads like a who's who of Latin America and Hollywood.
Nosotros no les estamos pidiendo el número uno.
She's one of the busiest women on the planet, but never too busy for her 3 children or the Miami home she shares with her husband and manager, Marcos Avila, a musician and founding member of the Miami Sound Machine. Christina and Marcos first spotted this Spanish-style house, appropriately called Villa Serena or Villa Serene, in 1986. At that time, it was under construction for somebody else. But in 1993, the house unexpectedly came up for sale.
Marcos calls me up and he says, guess where I'm at? And I said, where? He goes, Villa Serena. It's up for sale now, and we can afford it. And I said, buy it. We bought it and reconstructed it, and here I am.
Christina and her husband spent 2 years making the 7,500 square foot house a warm and beautiful place for family and friends.
The first contractor came over and says, why don't we just make it a palace? Let's just tear down the walls, and instead of little rooms and cubby holes, let's just do big spaces. And I said, no, because I want to keep that 1932 family feeling when people used to actually sit together and talk.
Light walls and soft, neutral-colored fabrics keep the smaller 1930s-style rooms from feeling closed in.
It looks stylish, but at the same time, it's very homey. The material that I picked is the kind of material that looks very elegant, but at the same time, my kids are big kids, they're teenagers. They travel in packs, so they come from working out with their tennis shoes and they just plop down there, and it doesn't matter because nothing gets dirty.
A round window added during renovations is an unexpected feature and allows for extra light in the living room, while a modern art collection adds vibrancy and history to the home.
My husband collects Cuban art from the vanguard period, and it's from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. He's got some pieces from the 60s that are newer. He's got representation of most of the Cuban artists from that period.
Through an archway off the living room is the rustic and inviting dining room. Like the rest of the house, this room is filled with different styles and textures conducive to formal and informal living. A highly polished farm table and silk-covered chairs are offset by a wrought iron chandelier. In this room and throughout the house, varnish was removed from marble floors, revealing their natural beauty.
What I did is that I got a special crew to come in with a special liquid, like an acid, to make it rough, which is what I like.
A built-in wall unit, an original feature of the house, was left intact because it fit in perfectly with the room's other furnishings.
We Latinos, we're really very mixed as far as heritage is concerned. We're from everywhere because your grandfather can be Ecuadorian and you can be from Havana, or the whole family comes from Spain or Santo Domingo. And I think this house reflects that very Hispanic mix, but it is very tropical.
Toward the back of the house is the Florida room, a former outdoor porch enclosed with glass.
I had it glassed in because I want to make sure that I get the Florida feeling, the tropical feeling, but I don't get the mosquitoes and the heat and the rain.
The mantel and the elephants on either side of it were carved from stone by Mexican craftsmen. Structural columns were made out of Florida keystone, an underwater stone that bears the imprints of fossils and shells.
It's very earthy, and the reason why I picked this is because we had a lot of columns from 1932 in the house that had to be matched.
A mahogany bar in the room was inspired by fond memories.
The bar is my hello to Cuba, my country. And I remember when I was little that the bars were mahogany and they were so solid. And that's a mahogany bar. It's 100% Cuban. The top is green slate and it's pieces of tile.
The Florida room overlooks the pool area and the waterfront. It's hard to imagine that a concrete wall once blocked this view, but it did. Christina had the wall removed, adding one more special element to her home.
I thought, what's the point of living across the port with all those cruise ships and having the beautiful canals and the ocean if you can't have the water as part of your life.
Here on the water's edge, a famous TV personality is filled with a sense of peace and belonging. Villa Serena may have been a long time coming, but Christina Saraleghi believes it was always waiting in the wings. She just had some catching up to do.
I love things that have history. I love things that have character. And I also believe in karma. And this house was my house. It was for me.
Christina says one of the most amazing things about living in her house is the parade of cruise ships that go past it. She says around 6 in the morning, when it's still dark outside, they look like buildings floating on the water. And the beautiful sight makes getting up early a little easier. Still ahead on Homes of Miami, wall treatments that make this one cool pad. And next, modern classics meet primitive art, the beautiful balance, when we come back.
Coming up on the next Design Time Saturday night. At 9:30 on Designing for the Sexes, he sees comfort, she sees style.
I see a conflict, that's what I see.
Then at 10 on Designer's Challenge, getting 3 ideas for an out-of-date kitchen.
So we'd like to dress it up, and we don't know where to start.
And at 10:30 on Design on a Dime, how to make this living room fun for a baby, but stylish for an adult. HGTV's Design Time Saturday night. Tonight starting at 8 on HGTV.
Can I write a check?
Yo.
Yow.
Yo.
Yow.
Yo.
Yo. Can I write a check?
Yo.
Yow.
Yo.
Yow. Yow.
Yo.
Yow.
Yo.
Can I write a check?
Yo. Next time, use the Visa check card instead of checks. It'll get you in, out, and on with life.
Yo.
Gee. Yo, gee.
Yo.
Nothing adds more beauty and value to a home than a new sunroom from Four Seasons. Imagine you and your family enjoying the Four Seasons in a beautiful new Four Seasons sunroom. It's like taking a vacation right in your own home all year long. A Four Seasons sunroom creates a special atmosphere that brings the outdoors indoors. Huge savings are available now when combined with the lowest interest rates in years. A Four Seasons sunroom may never be more affordable. Call your local Four Seasons dealer today and experience the magic of a Four Seasons sunroom.
When you think about it, a dog's teeth are like his hands. To keep them healthy, all IAMS adult formulas now have new daily dental care. It fights an effective time by reducing tartar buildup by up to 50%, which helps your dog live more healthy years. Think of them as IAMS years. IAMS, good for life.
Today, your home is probably your best investment. So today, there's no better time to come to Lowe's. Only Lowe's sells custom-sized Now blinds by Levelor. Designer blinds in every shape, style, and texture that will cut to your specifications while you shop. We'll even arrange installation. And no one ever beats Lowe's prices. Because Lowe's has low prices every day. Guaranteed. That's our promise. Lowe's, improving home improvement.
As you've seen, Miami is a fascinating and diverse city. You see it in the people, and you certainly see it in the way they live. Our next guests have a fondness for modern classics, but they're also drawn to primitive art. Taking a cue from the city in which they live, Bob and April Snyder created a home filled with ethnic flavor.
When I come home from a hard day at work, I just feel real comfortable in the house. Just looking at how beautiful it all turned out gives me a good relaxed feeling.
Bob and April Snyder have plenty to feel good about. After moving Bob's medical practice from San Francisco to Miami in 1987, they began searching for a house that would allow for an indoor-outdoor lifestyle. A 1940s rancher showed potential.
We really saw a lot of possibilities in the house because of its simple layout.
Early renovations in the 6,000 square foot house included a dramatic entryway. French doors were added for beauty and light, and tile floors were replaced with natural fossil stone.
I don't have to polish it or buff it, it's great.
The living room bridges the continental divide between Europe, Asia, and Africa. Chairs by 20th century designers Le Corbusier and Philippe Starck are modern complements to African stools and tables.
I think it gives a little ethnic feel to the room and offsets the more classic pieces.
I love different designers. I love to collect different kinds of chairs. And it's earthy and relaxing and dramatic all at once.
Hand-woven bags from the Ivory Coast hang on the wall as art. And primitive sculptures are at ease next to Japanese rice paper lamps, the work of Isamu Noguchi.
They're also classics. They'll always be in style. And they're pretty. I like how they look at night.
An unusual partition made from corrugated cardboard divides the two seating areas in the living room and softens its squared-off edges.
It was a great idea to use that to separate the two rooms and just tie them together.
Drapes mark the entrance to the formal dining room. In this rich and vibrant space, a custom-made table seats 12. Inspiration for the wall and accent colors comes from an unusual source, April's dinnerware.
I got this china when I first got married, and I decided that if I have a dining room, I'd like to use the colors that are on the plate. So the main colors are green and cranberry and gold, and that's what is in this room.
In 1998, the Snyders tackled a second renovation, the one that turned their 5-bedroom house into the home they'd always wanted. They combined 3 rooms into one sweeping space that includes a family room, dining area, and kitchen.
It's a real working kitchen. It's an industrial kitchen. I have all open shelving and a huge commercial hood, and it's great. I love it.
Ebony stained cabinets and stainless steel accents give the kitchen its modern edge. Granite countertops were honed for the natural look Bob and April wanted throughout their house.
We can really have a nice family meal around the island, cooking at the same time as we're eating. We don't feel crowded. You don't feel like you're on top of each other.
Matching cabinetry ties the kitchen to the family dining room, a space comprised of art-like pieces serving practical purposes. A paper chandelier called Love Notes, because of the handwritten sentiments that encircle its light, hangs over a beautiful and unusual tray table that really rocks.
It looks like a gravel road, and I went and chose the rocks, washed them and threw them in, and we put a glass top over it.
The connecting family room is relaxing and bright. Leather classics by American designer Charles Ames were paired with a vivid red sofa.
We sit down there frequently to watch TV or to read. We like to be close to each other. And usually there's not more than 4 or 5 of us, so we fit in very, very nicely, and we're close enough to the TV so that we can really enjoy it.
The French doors off the family room open to a covered patio that serves as an extra room. Painted Adirondack chairs, a sofa, and African accents blur the line between indoor and outdoor living.
It makes us feel like we're inside the house when we're eating outside. And the outside is also a little bit softer and more relaxed.
A second tray table easily transitions outdoors for casual poolside dining.
We felt that we would spend a lot of time there, and it would be a real Florida living type of situation for us because we like to live outside.
Natural elements and creative ideas bring a continental flair to this Miami home. As the house evolved, each room became a study in classic diplomacy, negotiated to a peaceful resolution and sure to stand the test of time.
You should mix things up. Don't be afraid to be a little daring in your design.
There's more to come on Homes of Miami. Up next, 3 steps to a beautiful home with veteran news anchors Maria Salinas and Elliot Rodriguez. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Beth with Matrix Direct, and I've got great news. Right now, we're offering the lowest rates in years on term coverage from Protective Life Insurance Company. Like $14 a month for a $250,000 policy for a man age 40, or $11 a month for a woman age 35. Call now and find out how much you can save in just 5 minutes.
Call 1-800-624-8495 for a free quote. 1-800-624-8495.
Arlington Auto Mall exceeds your every expectation. Experience stellar performance treatment from the largest volume Subaru dealer in North Texas and the only dealer in North Texas to receive this exclusive certification from Subaru. Save on this 2003 Subaru Forester, just $298 a month, or drive a new 2003 WRX for $1,500 off the MSRP. Great prices, terrific selection, and a service department that's second to none. Arlington Auto Mall on I-20 between 360 and Collins. Always exceeding every expectation.
Style. Between Bel Air and Beverly Hills, you could feel it everywhere. For this was the era of glamour, elegance, and romance. An era personified by one man, Humphrey Bogart. Now, Thomasville presents the Bogart Collection, piece by piece, room by room, all designed with the style and elegance of one of Hollywood's most romantic legends. The Bogart Collection, only from Thomasville, where style lives. Coming now for no payments, no interest until January 2004.
Steve Perillo, Mr. Italy Jr. with fantastic news. Take a Perillo tour and get free domestic airfare from over 50 U.S. cities. And with Perillo's world-renowned Italy trips, we've added Tuscany with the Italian Riviera and 10-day deluxe Italy by rail, the Three Capitals tour to London, Paris, and Rome. And incredibly, your domestic airfare is free.
For Perillo's free Italy brochure, including our new Spanish Eyes tour, call 1-800-921-6000 now.
Follow me. We're traveling across America to show people how Clorox bleach can breathe new life into their whites and just make them look better.
Are these white?
Yeah. No, they're dingy.
So watch this. After using Clorox bleach, one's clean and one's dirty.
Clorox bleach molecules lift off the dingy.
My son's pants are whiter than anybody else's on the field. It's the way I identify him when I can't see his jersey.
Clorox bleach for your whites, because who doesn't like looking spectacular?
Welcome back to Homes of Miami. You're about to meet a pair of news anchors who went searching for the perfect Miami home and found it in less than its perfect state. But Marina Elena Salinas and her husband, Elliot Rodriguez, followed their instincts and bought a home that came together a little like 1, 2, 3.
Our work brought both of us to Miami. This is where we met, this is where we got married, and this is where we have made our home.
Maria Elena Salinas is an Emmy Award-winning anchor on the #1 Spanish news channel in the country, Univision. Her husband is Elliot Rodriguez, a veteran newsman in the Miami market. But this is where their favorite stories are told, at home, in the Miami suburb of Coral Gables. Maria and Elliot bought the 1930s Mediterranean-style house in 1995 and began renovating in 3 phases. Phase 1 included new plumbing, wiring, and painting.
That was really an eye-opener for me because I had never remodeled a house before and I didn't know all the headaches that go with it.
Phase 2 of the renovations were structural and took place out back.
That's the one where we added almost 1,000 square feet to the house.
When the year-long renovations were complete, the 4,500 square foot house had a swimming pool, a partial second floor, and a lower-level family room.
Basically, the house is to end here. This was a large window. We took out the window, knocked on the wall, and began our renovation from here out into what used to be a side yard. This is our family room. This is definitely one of the most important rooms in the house because this is where we live, where we hang out with the children.
Distressed leather sofas and wood and leather-bound chairs keep the room casual and comfortable. Tables and stools are from India and Morocco, and Maria added conversation pieces as side tables.
When people come over, if there's one piece in the house that they ask about, it's these sugar grinders. What is that? Well, that's what it is, a sugar grinder.
The family entertainment center is housed behind custom cabinets. But look closely. The right and left side of this wall unit used to be one whole china cabinet.
We took an existing china cabinet that we had in our old dining room, we split it down the middle, and we put it up against the new wall of the new family room, and it's worked great for us.
Phase 3 of renovations took place on the perimeter of the house, where Maria and Elliot added a fence and gate.
I think it's the finishing touch that the house needed to look like an estate more so than just a regular house.
Next, decorating began in the main rooms. Near the entrance to the house is the living room, a rich combination of darkly stained woods and red accents. A neutral fabric allows for brightly colored pillows on the sofa and even more pattern on the Persian rug.
We used to live in an old Spanish home, and I had very rustic Mexican furniture. When we moved into this house, we realized that that furniture didn't really go with the style of the house. However, I don't like very, very fancy, elegant, formal furniture, so we try to give it an eclectic type of look where you can combine formal, elegant furniture with touches that were a little bit more rustic.
Touches like silk drapes that hang from custom-made bamboo and iron rods, and bookshelves given a light coat of red paint. Maria and Elliot spent a full year decorating their home with more than their futures in mind.
People tend to move around a lot from house to house. They outgrow it. They don't like it anymore. And we wanted a place where our children could grow up and say, that's the house I grew up in.
In the living room and throughout the house hang vibrant works of art by Latin American artists.
I have artwork from Colombia, from Argentina, from Mexico, from El Salvador, because I feel that that's part of who we are. That's part of our culture.
Directly across from the living room is the dining room, decorated with antique furnishings and silk fabrics. It's a formal space, but Maria went out of her way to keep it from feeling stuffy.
It was beginning to look too elegant for me, so I said, we're going to have to do something to give it a rustic touch. So what did we do? The paint job, which is an incredible work of art.
The dining room walls were first painted a mustard color, then coated with a terracotta paste.
They brushed it and combed it, actually with a comb, to give it that look, that textured look.
By remodeling and decorating a little at a time, Maria Salinas and Elliot Rodriguez kept things under control and ended up with exactly what they wanted. It may not have been as easy as 1, 2, 3, but that's their story and they're living in it.
I think a house has to be decorated in a way where you feel good when you come home. It's not just a house, it's a home. It has to go with you and your personality, and it also has to be livable.
Maria and Elliot say the thing they're most proud of is that their additions match the architecture of the original house and pay respect to the people who built it 70 years ago. When our tour of Miami homes continues, creative ideas and daring choices turn a boxy apartment into a sophisticated Miami home. And wait till you see the wall coverings.
For information on this program, visit HGTV.com and click on our TV specials listing. On the website, you'll also find thousands of ideas and step-by-step instructions for many of the projects featured on Home and Garden Television.
HGTV heads cross-country in search of the perfect home. Don't miss House Hunters Coast to Coast, Sunday night at 9 on HGTV.
On the next Extreme Homes, you'll have to travel by air or by sea to tour this floating lodge. Find out why it was built to be so portable. Then, a seafaring family sets anchor for good. And here's one train that's quite at home on the water. Extreme Homes, Sunday night at 10 on HGTV.
Great hair and makeup are important for these models to look their best, but the big Hollywood secret is professional teeth whitening.
Having white teeth in the profession that I do full-time, which is modeling and acting, is extremely important.
Introducing White Brilliance, the professional tooth whitening system you can now order direct from American Dental, just like dentists do. In an independent study conducted by the Good Housekeeping Institute, White Brilliance was rated best results overall. So, why was White Brilliance rated best results overall?
White Brilliance is a professional strength formula with more whitening power than over-the-counter
over-the-counter products. It contains 16% carbamide peroxide, the same professional formula used by dentists. That means patients get whiter teeth in just one use.
I need a bright smile, and I can't trust that to over-the-counter products. And that's why I use White Brilliance.
There are a lot of over-the-counter products like these brush-on applicators or these whitening strips that just don't provide the level of whiteness that professional-type products like White Brilliance do.
As a model, we pretty much know that a lot of the over-the-counter products aren't effective. Now with White Brilliance, we get the benefits of the dental product, but at the price of the over-the-counter product.
Patients are very pleased with White Brilliance. The product has done a phenomenal job.
So if you want white teeth like these, you can visit your dentist and spend hundreds of dollars for White Brilliance, or you can order direct from American Dental for only 2 payments of $29.95. But wait, call in the next 10 minutes and we'll double your order and drop 1 payment. That's right. Call now and receive 2 White Brilliance kits for only 1 payment of $29.95.
Now that you can call and order White Brilliance directly, everyone can afford to have a perfect smile.
I can just call White Brilliance and have the product delivered direct to my door at a fraction of the cost I was paying at the dentist for the exact same product.
Get whiter in just 1 use with White Brilliance, the only whitener rated best results overall by Good Housekeeping. Call now.
2 for 1, only 9 minutes left. 800-207-8282. 800-207-8282.
Welcome back to Homes of Miami. Our next guest has enjoyed a life of international forays in some of the world's most exciting cities. Interior designer Kevin Gray spent 15 years in Europe before moving his business to Miami in 1993. Since then, he's enjoyed life on the waterfront, where he's translated his European influences into Miami mod.
After 15 years in Paris, Barcelona, and Milan, it's only natural that interior designer Kevin Gray would seek out a worldly city for his home in the States.
I like Miami because it's international, and I think the design community is a little bit innovative, more so than the rest of Florida.
A 1960s high-rise in Miami Beach caught Kevin's attention. Sure, its architecture lacked the charm and splendor of European homes, but it had its good points.
I think that when you walk into a space and you have unobstructed views straight out, and you don't have the feeling that, oh, I'll knock this out or I'll knock this out. There was nothing to knock out.
Kevin also liked the idea of turning a 1,300 square foot box into a kind of memory box, a place to hold the special pieces he had collected while traveling.
The biggest design challenge was giving the apartment some personality.
Personality came from a daring mix of French, Italian, and Chinese furnishings, most of them from the 1940s and 50s. The sofa was custom made, 2 daybeds upholstered in white vinyl for a mod Miami look. For an architectural splash, travertine squares, the exact width of the sofa, were applied to the wall.
Behind the sofa, I used a stone which is porous, and then I used the shag carpet, exactly the same dimension as the travertine wall, coming straight out wall to wall.
Opposite the sofa, a 1940s French armchair is still covered in its original fabric. Next to it is a Chinese dragon chair. The first time Kevin spotted the chair, someone was trying to remove its 20-plus coats of red lacquer, but Kevin asked them to stop.
I said, don't touch it anymore. I want it just the way it is.
Kevin designed the adjoining dining area around a 1950s light fixture and a watercolor by American artist Alexander Calder. Vintage chrome chairs pull up nicely to a stainless steel base table and glass top. A padded wall gives the space depth and texture, and it hides the front door, transforming this one-time entry hall into a modern and sophisticated dining room.
The walls are 18 by 18 squares of chenille, and they're applied wall to wall, and you lose the door completely.
After removing wall-to-wall carpeting from the apartment, Kevin added shag rugs to the dining and living areas and dressed up the apartment's original poured concrete floor.
There were, of course, imperfections, maybe a crack or two or where the tacks had been from carpet, but the concrete was smooth, almost marble-like, so I polished it down, lacquered it, sealed it, and it has the look that I wanted.
A large terrace with a view of downtown Miami makes apartment living all the easier. Kevin designed the wrought iron furniture for the space and added a vinyl-covered sofa that ties back to the indoors.
That's a 60s couch, and I wanted one sofa that I could have outside that I can sit and watch my sunsets.
On one wall of the terrace, a pebblestone fountain supplies the soothing sound of water.
The terrace was probably the element that sold me to the apartment. It was also the room that was my least favorite. It had no retaining walls whatsoever, so basically I could see the neighbors from either side. So I had to construct the walls on each end, and I had to plant it as well.
Modern design and international theme continue into the master bedroom, where silk fabrics and vibrant punches of color stand out against painted and cork walls.
I wanted my bedroom to be dark and completely different than the rest of the apartment. So I painted the walls a slate gray, and I used the cork, which is original cork from the 70s, which is rough, on the wall behind the bed.
Most of the furnishings in this room were shipped from Kevin's former home in Europe. It's a personal space that reflects his years of traveling and collecting.
The chair next to the bed is original 1940s. It was originally in red velvet, and I did it in rust silk.
Glass lamps from Murano, Italy grace each side of the bed.
The shades I had made custom. I also wanted a little bit of more white for the rooms. They're white, literally woven with almost white leather strings. And my Chinese cabinet is a wedding chest cabinet from China, which I housed all my stereo hi-fi equipment because I don't like looking at anything electronic.
This may have started as a boxy white space, but Kevin Gray's apartment is now a textured and fascinating place. His innovative style turned blank walls into architectural highlights and gave this European-inspired home plenty of modern Miami style.
Kevin says those chenille-covered pads on his dining room wall sometimes hide the front door too well, and his guests have trouble finding their way out. The good news is no one ever gets hurt when they bump into the wall looking for the doorknob. And that's our show. We hope you've enjoyed it and have been inspired to add a little spice to your home decor. I'm Nancy Glass. Thanks to all of our guests in Miami, and thank you for watching.
Tonight on HGTV's Design Time Saturday Night. At 8, it's Room by Room. At 8:30 on Decorating Sense, a laundry room gets a fresh new look. Then at 9, it's another great episode of Decorating Sense. At 9:30 on Designing for the Sexes, a solution for a bathroom battle. At 10 on Designers Challenge, 3 designers compete to update one outdated kitchen. And at 10:30, it's Design on a Dime. It's all coming up on HGTV's Design Time Saturday Night.
Join Edie Ellis for an insightful tour of the historic Homes of Our Heritage, African American Visionaries. Sunday at 5 Eastern on HGTV.
If you've ever fantasized about living in a winter wonderland, well, hang on, because we're about to take you inside this Aspen, Colorado chateau that's on the market for $18 million. Next, we'll tour this classic French Regency home with a Beverly Hills flair. Then, it's off to the big island of Hawaii to experience the magic of island living and fantasize about this oceanfront ranch. So sit back and enjoy today's Fantasy Open House Tours.
Hi there.
there, I'm Claire Berger. Welcome to Fantasy Open House, where we take you inside multi-million-dollar homes for sale by appointment only. Now, don't worry, we're not going to try to sell you a new house, but we are going to share some multi-million-dollar design ideas. Come on, let's get started. Our first appointment takes us to Aspen, Colorado, where the real estate prices are the highest in the country. Just to give you an example, last year the average home sold for $2.5 million. Now we're about to take you inside the most expensive listing in all of Aspen. It's called Chateau Reeve, and it's on the market for, are you ready for this? $18 million. Chateau Reeve, which means castle on the river, was built in 1999 as a fifth home for a prominent corporate CEO. The stately stone manor sits on 2.5 acres overlooking the Roaring Fork River. There's over 12,000 square feet of pure luxury where you can find cozy refuge on a wintry day like today. This winter getaway is walking distance from Aspen Village and commands spectacular views of the ski slopes. We caught up with the listing broker Pamela Phillips on Aspen Mountain, where she often closes her deals.
Last year, 1999, we sold over $1,133 million in real estate. The year before, it was over $1 billion as well. The millionaires are getting pushed out by the billionaires in Aspen.
With $18 million price tags, you can see why Aspen's so exclusive. But when you enter Chateau Reeve, it doesn't feel like a typical mountain hideaway. This dramatic limestone gallery feels like a European castle, complete with the art to go with it. But as soon as you move into the vaulted great room, the mountains dominate, and even on this snowy day, the room is filled with light. But as beautiful as this home appears to be, what makes this an $18 million home?
You've got the location, which is key. I mean, being so close to town, on a river, a large piece of land. Then you've got the architecture and what's between the walls. For instance, all the doors and windows in here are about $250,000 upgrade from the nicest custom doors and windows you can get. The glass is what's used in the Getty Museum to protect fine art. And then you have security systems. There is a humidification system because in Aspen it's very dry. There's also air conditioning, air purification, and the fireplace, rather than being just a limestone fireplace, it's a 17th century fireplace brought in from France and reassembled on location. So really from the doorknobs to the location, to what's between the walls, to what's on the walls, is what makes an $18 million house.
All of the furniture, accessories, art, crystal, silver, and linens are included in the asking price. The contents alone are worth over $3 million, and the discriminating Aspen buyer expects the finest money can buy, including the most amazing pet bed. This is a dog bed here?
This is a dog bed.
So even the dogs live in
you bring your
opulence.
toothbrush and your dog.
Oh my goodness. Examples of luxurious living are everywhere. The wide plank antique oak floors were refinished to give a sense of age to the home and continue into the dining room.
Now this room is really interesting. This is a combination dining room, family room.
A hand-carved couch from India is nestled into the window bay. An antique English walnut table is flanked by mahogany birdcage chairs with a French battle scene in the painting above.
You know, people think they have to have a dining room table matching the chairs, and everything has to match, and everything should be French or English or French country. And this is a perfect example of an eclectic, interesting, pulled together, comfortable, multi-purpose room.
Onto the kitchen, which suits the house beautifully.
You recognize these chairs? These are the birdcage mahogany chairs that go into the dining room. So when you have a large dinner party, you just take your kitchen chairs and into the dining room. There's two seating areas. You could use this for serving, seating, and then for
grown-ups and kids. This exquisitely carved marble mantel was imported from France. It's enhanced by a faux paint treatment on this one wall. The built-in china cabinet has a lighter finish than the custom kitchen cabinetry, adding to the eclectic feel of the home. Limestone countertops and a farmhouse sink lighten up the darker woods. The commercial-style kitchen has a 6-burner range and grill, a butcher block center island, and 3 refrigerators.
Now, this is a floor you don't often see in a kitchen. It's a combination of tile and the same wood that we've seen in paneling.
So you've got your white oak plank wood over here, and then in the same room, you've got your terracotta tile with the wood pattern. And it just makes it interesting.
There are 6 bedrooms and 6.5 baths in this home. This master guest suite is right out of a European villa with an antique carved wood bed flanked by Italian end tables with a carved English settee. The master suite takes up the entire 2nd floor. You enter an upstairs landing that doubles as an office filled with elegant antiques.
And then as we walk into this private sitting area.
Oh, look at the shades. Is this out of chenille?
Yes, it's chenille, and it's very oversized. It could be used as a bed.
It's almost the size of a twin bed, you're right.
So, and in here you've got this gorgeous chest, which is all hand-painted. Then again, you've got important paintings. The draperies are to die for. They're English, and they're antique lace.
And I see these beautiful sheer panels also in the bedroom area, too.
Yes, the bedroom is, you can see the antique carved canopy bed, and then there's a fireplace, then you've got your wide plank floors carrying through up in here.
The enormous master bath has marble floors with radiant heat, custom-made hand-painted cabinetry, his and her sauna and steam baths, and a spa tub that looks out to the beautiful Colorado views.
This is the downstairs family room, and what you'll see here is very high ceilings. You'll notice the ceilings with the really wood coppered with lighting.
Antique Dutch oil-on-canvas wallpaper is mounted on panels to create an interesting wall treatment. Just off the family room is the media room. A hidden screen comes from the ceiling where movies can be watched from an exotic Indonesian wedding bed.
This is really an all-season house, Claire. I mean, I love it out here. This is the most gorgeous place outside. And in the summer, this river rolls over the rocks. It sounds like applause. So loud.
Well, I'll tell you what, this house absolutely deserves a standing ovation. Thank you for the tour.
Thank you, Claire.
When we return, we go inside this Beverly Hills mansion with an African room and a library that's read all over. Don't go away.
HGTV heads cross-country in search of the perfect home. Don't miss House Hunters Coast to Coast, Sunday night at 9 on HGTV.
Why do so many people trust GMAC Real Estate? It's because our agents offer premier service. A commitment to service that caters to your specific needs. Which means whether you're buying or selling a home, we'll listen to your needs and get you where you want to be. It's no wonder we have an overwhelming 94% customer satisfaction rating. GMAC Real Estate. Service you deserve. People you trust.
Yeah, man! Are you listening, my island people? Feel the spirit of one love, positive vibration, the rhythm of one nation. Hey, come and feel the spirit.
With so many direct flights from so many cities, plus our winter savings spectacular, Jamaica has never been easier. Call Liberty Travel at 1-800-398-2100.
You haven't just been sitting around your whole life. You've been training for the Lazy Boy National Recline-a-thon. Hurry in to your participating Lazy Boy retailer and put those sitting skills to use. And discover the recliner that's perfect for you. With so many to choose from and so many different features to try, all at a great low price, we promise you'll go home a winner. But hurry, like most great events, the Lazy Boy National Recline-a-thon is only on for a limited time.
At the Home Depot, we're driving down the cost of home improvement. Now is the time to buy carpet. Choose from over 3,000 styles, colors, and textures. And right now, get the carpet pad free with purchase of carpet and installation through the Home Depot at-home services. Plus, when you use your Home Depot credit card, pay nothing and get no interest for 6 months on purchases of $299 or more. At the Home Depot, we've got lower prices nailed.
Welcome back to Fantasy Open House. Now we're about to take you inside this 2-acre property in the heart of Beverly Hills. This French Regency home was built in 1929, but in 1999 the owners brought in a world-renowned interior designer to give this 11,000 square foot mansion a whole new life. It's called Laurel Lane, and it's on the market for $13.5 million. This gated home offers total privacy with the charm of a European estate. Its lovely gardens include a pool and cabana. A brick path leads you down to the secluded championship tennis court. And for Beverly Hills interior designer Barbara Lockhart, the work began at the front gate. She widened the driveway and the front entry to give the home the visual stature it deserved.
I thought it would just be recovering, repainting, and before I knew it, it was one of those might as well projects. As long as we're doing this, we might as well do that, you know? And in this house, it's a beautiful home of one of my closest friends, as it happens, and so I felt very spirited about contributing to the elements in this house.
The room offered wonderful potential with 22-foot-high ceilings supported by exquisite 100-year-old beams salvaged from a bridge in San Francisco. A surprising contrast to the rustic beams is a 17th century French chandelier made of pressed glass that came from a church in France.
The chandelier is particularly special because it's hydraulic and it moves up and down in order to light the candles. It's not electrified.
It's a great way to mix the old with the new, the hydraulics with the candles.
I know, isn't that a fabulous idea? I love it. And also the beautiful 18th century wood-carved French mantel. And then I embellished it with Cantera contemporary stone to give it a stronger support. I must point out this staircase here. This wonderful circular staircase is an antique one, which we used in order to ascend to the mini library on the second floor. And those are all antique leather-bound books that she and her husband collected. And then below that, because this is really a casually elegant home, they decided that they wanted the bar in the great room, in the living room.
Hand-hewn walnut floors contribute to that casual, elegant attitude.
The rug is an antique Keelam rug.
Well, here you've got a really old, beautiful, worn antique rug, but yet you've pulled the colors, the muted taupes, the beiges, and brought them into some fairly contemporary furniture you've designed here.
The furniture pieces were scaled to the room, of course, and the colors were soft and muted, but with the deliberate detail of this kind of edging, you know, so that it looked a little bit more feminine, not quite so tailored.
The great room is surrounded by large windows and doors that welcome the garden into this room. With that in mind, Barbara created this really unusual dining room.
This is the triage room, which was originated in France during the 18th century. Trellis. It's
triage
is the French word for trellis. Elsie de Wolfe did it for the Colony Club in New York. She borrowed it from the 18th century, and then I borrowed it from Elsie, and I placed it into this room because it has a brick floor and it looks out onto the garden, and I think it brings again the California feeling of indoor-outdoor living. And of course all these doors open up, and then the whole garden becomes part of this room.
And the trellis room is just one of the many places to dine in this home. Another is what Barbara refers to as the junior dining room.
It was a room that was just upholstered in linen fabric, and I thought that it should be embellished with wood, and I did it in this wonderful, rich red paneling. Also, the chandelier, I think, is an unexpected delight in that it's really 18th century Baccarat, and I wanted to use that in this room with the simplicity of the style of the paneling and the plaids and the fabrics.
Here's another dining option, this time in the country kitchen.
And the kitchen is designated in two areas. The butler's pantry area has a small little butcher table in there for 4 chairs for breakfast. And then the other area, of course, provides the cooking elements for the fabulous food that comes out of this kitchen. And I also love the window treatments, you know, with all the vines and the plants cascading down to embellish the windows as opposed to just draperies or shutters. The cabinets are all hand-hewn, and they look as if they were made in the 18th century. And then the white tile against the caramel color of the cabinets, I think, just pop out.
There's a fully equipped gym to work off all that good cooking. And just off the gym is a large spa where the owners can relax at the end of the day and enjoy the views. Barbara designed the billiard room around the owner's collection of African art. She upholstered the walls with African batik fabric and added an unusual pattern to the ceiling with rough sawn oak. She also turned an antique brick fireplace into a whimsical place to display the owner's prized pieces from Nairobi. And a window seat is a comfy spot to take a cat nap in this jungle room. But if you need to wake up, the adjacent library will energize you.
I personally think that every home should have a red room. I think that if you're feeling slightly depressed, you can walk into a red room and you automatically walk up feeling like you've had a glow. It's a wonderful feeling of energizing.
And with so many places to dine, you never have to call out for reservations.
No, it's that great.
Thank you so much for the tour. It's
Here
really
we go.
fun.
Cheers.
Thank you. When we return, we're heading to the Big Island of Hawaii for a look inside this oceanfront ranch that sits on 27 acres of rugged coastline. The fantasy continues.
Comedy, drama, action, romance. AT&T Broadband offers up the entertainment you want to watch on great networks like Comedy Central, giving viewers the shows they love to laugh with. Turner Classic Movies, commercial-free and over 350 movies each month. Lifetime Movie Network, bringing women the movies they love that reflect their many moods. And TV Land, dedicated to the best of everything television from the past 50 years. Get the entertainment you deserve, only from AT&T Broadband.
Whoever said less is more never owned a TV. More is more. And with AT&T digital cable, you get plenty more. More choices. More sports. More ways to watch. More surprises. And now you can have more for just $39.99 a month. So get more of the entertainment you love. Call 1-866-GO-CABLE and get it all for $39.99 a month with free installation.
In my house, it's a fact that boys are messier.
CLR Bathroom and Kitchen Cleaner, specially formulated to lift even the most stubborn stains, scum, and mineral deposits. Just spray it on and watch it work.
The boys made lunch. It looked like there was an explosion. I use CLR Bathroom and Kitchen Cleaner. I wipe it off with a wet sponge and it's all gone.
CLR Bathroom and Kitchen Cleaner. From the clean experts, CLR.
It's magic in my book.
You'll find CLR Bathroom and Kitchen Cleaner at these and other fine stores.
Whips from Yoplait in 6 amazing flavors. A whipped yogurt so incredibly light, so unbelievably fluffy. It's a rather extraordinary experience. Whips from Yoplait. It is so good.
If you're buying or selling a home in this market, tap the power of Prudential Real Estate. Backed by a name trusted for more than 125 years, the Prudential Real Estate Network can get you moving. With more than 42,000 real estate sales professionals you can rely on in offices across North America. Each day, we're helping to bring thousands of buyers and sellers together. Call today and find out why millions of people are sold on Prudential Real Estate.
Our next appointment takes us to the Big Island of Hawaii. Now, we're on the northern end of this island known as Paniolo Country or Cowboy Country. Sea Captain George Vancouver brought the very first cow here in 1793. And today it's home to one of the largest privately owned ranches in the entire United States. Now, we've discovered the ultimate fantasy ranch overlooking the spectacular Kohala Coast on Puakea Bay. The owners have named this residence Paliakamoa. It means Cliff of the Birds, and it's on the market for just under $13 million. Land developer George Isaacs purchased this property 10 years ago and built his own 27-acre oceanfront oasis in this wide open land that was once part of Parker Ranch. To ensure privacy, they dedicated the adjacent 13 oceanfront acres to parkland and erected an 18-foot bronze sculpture of a breaching whale in honor of the natural wildlife in the bay, which we witnessed firsthand. This magical setting resembles a lush resort, complete with swimming pool and tennis court. A palm-lined drive leads to the 16,000 square foot home and adjacent 3,000 square foot guest villa. The clay tile roofing gives the home a Mediterranean feel, yet there are many Hawaiian touches. A wood carving of Pele, the goddess of fire, greets you as you enter the 3-level home.
This is the lanai, which pretty much we live on our lanais here in Hawaii. It's open, we have no windows, and you can hear the sea and see the birds and the whales and the boats and everything else that goes by.
It really does bring the outside in.
It certainly does.
The lanai has a mahogany ceiling and a built-in wet bar with granite countertops. There's a casual island feel to this room, with its bamboo furniture accented with treasures from the sea. Did you catch that fish?
Yes, it's an 800-pound blue marlin. And when I first moved to this island from Honolulu, I spent about a year fishing, trying to get a really big fish and succeeding in getting that one.
That's a really big fish.
Yeah, it is a big
Definitely. You know what I think my favorite thing about this room is?
What is that?
No windows to wash.
You like that?
Yeah, outdoor, indoor, it's great. Now, is this your primary living room in the house?
No, it's next door, and I'll take you over there next.
All right, great.
All right.
As you enter the formal living room, you're struck by the neutral palette of the room, set off by the warm mahogany vaulted ceilings. The floors are a cool marble.
There is marble around the fireplace, and even though we don't need fireplaces for whatever reason, possibly because I like fireplaces, we did put in, I believe there's about 8 fireplaces in this house, and so it's more a decorative type of thing than it is something that's ever used.
Well, I mean, when it snows and everything, you need a fireplace.
We get, our low here has been 58 since we've been here.
Ooh, that's nippy. The room is surrounded by 20 French doors that lead out to the wraparound balcony, which overlooks the ocean. The formal dining room also opens to the balcony. There's a sense of casual elegance. A grand crystal chandelier hangs over the glass table, and there's a built-in bird's-eye maple cabinet for displaying china. The large galley-style kitchen features custom cabinetry made of native koa wood. The wood has become an island treasure. It's getting harder and harder to come by, which adds to the value of the home. On the lower level of this home is a massive game room with koa wood floors and mahogany ceilings. There's a built-in entertainment center and pool table. Around the corner is a 2,000-bottle wine cellar, large enough to sit in and sample your favorite vintage. And just down the hall, a spacious Hawaiian-style office with koa floors and built-in desks that overlook the lush grounds through French doors. The entire 3rd floor of this home is dedicated to the master suite. This room is decorated in softer shades of gray and features a light granite fireplace. There are his and her bathrooms, each with a spa tub overlooking the panoramic view. Just off the main house is a 3,000 square foot guest house with 2 guest suites. A sunken living room with built-in koa shelves overlooks the fireplace in each room. Guests have their own private lanai for taking in the rugged coastline. George took me for a closer look at one of his favorite spots on the property. You'd be hard-pressed to find a cowboy who wouldn't appreciate having a ranch right here on the Hawaiian coast overlooking the ocean. This is the best.
Before you leave, you take a look out there, and there's some whales jumping right now.
Right. Thanks again for the tour.
Thank you.
When we return, we'll show you the key to a great collectibles idea. Don't go away.
Visit the at-home category on HGTV.com for hundreds of ideas and inspirational projects that will make your house a home.
Carnival Foods and hot dogs. #1 flaming Americans food. Eat 10 billion donuts every year.
Golly.
It's chocolate and aphrodisiac. The goodies you can't get enough of. TV dinner. Just darn entertaining.
Who needs all these spatulas, spoons, the tongs, and turners that just don't work? Hi, I'm Susan Williams for the Invention Channel, and you're ready for the Handy Chef, the amazing new kitchen tool that grips, flips, and whips just about anything. The Handy Chef has a superior design over any other tongs because it forms around the food to hold it tight and secure with no slipping. But that's not all. The Handy Chef is also a fantastic spatula. Just flip the front, and it slides under the food without catching or tearing. Then just grip it and flip it. Need to mix? Just push the Handy Chef's locking button, and now you've got a professional whisk that anyone can use. How many times has this happened to you? Now food will flip instead of slip with the Handy Chef. And forget about searching for a fork or spoon. Handy Chef whips it up quick. Handy Chef is great if you've got arthritis or a weak grip, because it holds safe and secure, so you can serve salads with ease, grab boiled eggs without effort, and flip chicken breasts without splattering. Fold your eggs in omelets, then serve them without tearing. Only the Handy Chef gives you firm, simple control over everything you're cooking. And now the Handy Chef is yours for only $14.99. But call right away, and we'll give you a second Handy Chef absolutely free. That's two for only $14.99. But the best part is, during our introductory special, we're giving away the incredible training pasta pot with every order. It's the one with the Loctite top that drains automatically. All you pay is shipping and handling. So get the complete set. That's two Handy Chefs and the incredible training pasta pot for only $14.99.
Call 1-800-491-5522 to order your Handy Chef for just $14.99 plus shipping. Have your credit card ready and call 1-800-491-5522. Or use your check like a credit card and have your check in front of you when you call. 1-800-491-5522. Call now.
Here on the Big Island of Hawaii on the Paliakamoa Ranch, we found a most unusual collection. The owners here have spent a lifetime traveling the world and have collected these extraordinary hotel keys along the way. They've set them in unique keyholes and artfully displayed them in this velvet-lined box frame. Collections don't have to be expensive to be impressive. Remember, a great imagination is the key to a great collection. I'm Claire Berger. Thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next Fantasy Open House.
Some people will find any excuse to use their tools on the weekend, but HGTV has the only reason you'll ever need. We call it the Weekend Work Zone. Weekend mornings beginning at 8 Eastern, only on HGTV. Brought to you by Lowe's, improving home improvement.
Educators, civil rights leaders, capitalists, and composers. African-American visionaries who changed our history and touched our lives. Join HGTV's Edie Ellis for an insightful tour of these historic homes of our heritage. African-American visionaries. Sunday at 5 Eastern on HGTV.
Ahead on Dream Drive, a taste of the country in Greater Los Angeles as we travel down South Grand Avenue in Pasadena. We visit a craftsman home blending traditional antiques with a hint of Peru. Also, a modern house decorated with an artist touch. plus a Victorian beauty still clinging to its farmhouse roots. Dream Drives in Pasadena is next. Welcome to Dream Drives. I'm Tia Marlier. Pasadena, California is considered part of Greater Los Angeles, but it has a very distinct personality. In Pasadena, the mood is back to nature and family-friendly. South Grand Avenue captures that easygoing spirit while tracing its roots to Pasadena's early days as a wealthy resort enclave. Pasadena is nestled against the backdrop of the San Gabriel Mountains, with Los Angeles looming in the distance. The one-mile trip down South Grand Avenue proves you're a world apart from the booming metropolis beyond.
Well, I think it's a peaceful street. I think you feel that you are almost in the country, although not quite.
Pasadena is known for its natural beauty and for some key landmarks. The Rose Bowl is perhaps the most famous, part of a college football tradition dating back to 1902. Historic arts and crafts homes reflect Pasadena's rich architectural heritage, while the most striking icon of the city may be the Federal Courthouse, once the Vista del Arroyo Hotel, built at the entrance of South Grand Avenue.
The hotel and its tower are like a beacon when you come into Pasadena from the west across the Colorado Street Bridge.
Because the Vista del Arroyo Hotel grew up right here on South Grand Avenue, it really drew people to this very neighborhood.
Today, residents along South Grand enjoy the same scenery that attracted early tourists and settlers to Pasadena's western edge.
Well, the views from this street are probably among the most spectacular in Pasadena. So you can see everything dramatic in our natural environmental setting from almost every house on the street.
That backyard link to nature includes the mountains and the Arroyo Seco, a dry riverbed bustling with activity.
It makes you feel part of nature. I love to explore the canyons. I love to go down into the Arroyo and walk through the paths.
Jerry and Donna Secundi's South Grand Avenue home was built in 1911. It's a transitional style, part colonial, part Victorian, part arts and crafts, but definitely California comfortable.
What we liked was the front porch. We wanted to be able to sit out there and kind of watch people pass by. We just liked the charm of it.
Like so many houses in Pasadena, this one has a casual Midwestern character.
I guess inviting is the best word that I can really come up with. It's an inviting home.
Inside, the Secundi home turns simplicity into quiet elegance. The center hall has 9.5-foot tall ceilings. Design details here are restrained and practical, from the mahogany banister to the old-fashioned radiators. But there are touches of extravagance, too. The living room features extra-wide knife-edge molding. The fireplace is decorated with special glazed tiles.
And there were two famous tile makers that we use extensively in Pasadena, Groovy and Batchelder, and we have an example of each, one in this room and one in the family room. And they were tiles that were done in earth tones, so they weren't strident in any way, and it doesn't give you that feeling that, well, pink is out this year, we need to change the tile. These are tiles that will last a long time.
Antique furniture in muted colors rounds out an understated decor. The focus here is on prized collections. Salt cellars with cobalt blue liners decorate built-in shelves, and a collection of silver spoons tells the story of an early American artisan.
The spoon collection was primarily made by a woman called Hester Bateman, who was one of the first English women silversmiths. And from 1761 until 1790, she was a predominant silversmith in London, very well known.
The dining room echoes a world of refinement in Pasadena. Above the French table and chairs, the original Waterford crystal chandelier is a cherished reminder of the past.
every time we see it, our face lights up. And I bless every previous homeowner that was nice enough to leave it, and we intend to leave it if we ever do sell this house, which we hope not to be able to do, ever.
This South Grand Avenue home retains many of its historic features. The butler's pantry has been left untouched, boasting the original nickel sink and cherry wood counters. The family room makes a move toward modern. Painted a striking teal color, this is where the Secundis display treasures collected on their world travels. While in the Peace Corps in Peru, Jerry became fascinated by an unusual series of ancient pieces.
And so I was fortunate enough when I was there to have a collection of what are called macanas and lihues and huaracas, which are various weapons that were used by the Quechua Indians at that point in time.
This artful array of Colombian and Incan artifacts is part of an eclectic decor. Even though the Secundis are avid collectors, they don't want their Pasadena home to feel like a museum.
It's comfortable, it's warm, it's not a formal home at all. We don't consider ourselves in any way formal people. It's an inviting home.
That casual attitude resonates on South Grand Avenue, where beautiful Pasadena homes are surrounded by nature's simple charms. Coming up, a unique home on South Grand takes a fresh approach to modern design. Later on, a Pasadena garden complements the back-to-nature design of a noted craftsman home. Dream Drive's Pasadena returns in a moment.
HGTV heads cross-country in search of the perfect home. Don't miss House Hunters Coast to Coast, Sunday night at 9 on HGTV.
Style. Between Bel Air and Beverly Hills, you could feel it everywhere. For this was the era of glamour, elegance, and romance. An era personified by one man, Humphrey Bogart. Now, Thomasville presents the Bogart Collection, piece by piece, room by room, all designed with the style and elegance of one of Hollywood's most romantic legends. The Bogart Collection, only from Thomasville, where style lives. Come in now for no payments, no interest until January 2004.
There's a place I dream about where the sun never goes out. Ooh, we can begin again. Shade our skin, let the sun shine in. At the edge of the ocean, we can start over again.
At the Home Depot, we're driving down the cost of home improvement. Now is the time to buy carpet. Choose from over 3,000 styles, colors, and textures. And right now, get the carpet pad free with purchase of carpet and installation through the Home Depot at-home services. Plus, when you use your Home Depot credit card, pay nothing and get no interest for 6 months on purchases of $299 or more. At the Home Depot, we've got lower prices nailed.
Welcome back to DIY, the Do-It-Yourself Network. After you set your wallpaper in place, here's how you avoid air bubbles that could ruin your side areas and no more bubbles.
Miss a step on TV? Don't worry. DIY, the new Do-It-Yourself Network, is always there for you online. Thousands of projects, detailed instructions. To request DIY, call 1-877-9-GET-DIY.
Welcome back to Dream Drives. I'm Tia Marlier. Pasadena, California has a proud architectural heritage. Driving down South Grand Avenue, it's easy to see why. While the city is probably most famous for its California bungalows, South Grand is a celebration of all styles, spanning more than a century. The name Pasadena comes from a Native American word meaning crown of the valley. Some of the architectural jewels in that crown are found along a 1-mile stretch of South Grand Avenue.
Well, South Grand has always been, since the beginning of Pasadena history, a very prestigious street, a street with a lot of sophistication and a lot of variety.
That architectural variety begins with Victorian homes and resort-style shingle designs borrowed from the East Coast.
We have, following that, the Craftsman style, which was very popular here in Pasadena, a kind of rustic, truly American style.
The arts and crafts movement flourished along South Grand. One block over, the historic Gamble House is a Craftsman masterpiece, designed by Pasadena brothers Henry and Charles Green. Green & Green built 3 homes on South Grand. As prominent architects, they were in good company.
Because the people in Pasadena were interested in architecture, many of the finest architects in the region worked here.
Sophisticated classic designs became more popular in the 1920s, and each new decade brings striking changes. Not every home on South Grand is historic. Beyond a gate and through an alley of Melaleucas trees, the Reeves home is set amid formal geometric gardens. The design evolved during a recent renovation. Alex and Michael Reeves bought a house built in the 1970s and then created an entirely new look.
We wanted something that would fit in the neighborhood and not stick out too much, but something that was grand, simple, and elegant.
A key design theme was to take advantage of the spectacular setting on the arroyo.
Oh, the views are everything. It's a way of living with nature. We see all kinds of wildlife that you wouldn't think you could see so near the city. And we could see the city, we could see Los Angeles.
So the Reeves set out to maximize their views using a series of French doors on each facade. Inside, the couple took down walls to create a free-flowing space. The terrazzo floors set the tone for a clean, contemporary look.
It was a splurge for us, and we wanted that feel from the terrazzo. It just feels so good, and it looks wonderful, and it also shines light very well.
This Pasadena home is decorated with a few twists and surprises. At the dining table, no 2 chairs are alike. Alex designed the interiors herself. Much of the artwork on the walls is her own.
I sculpt with wire, solid figurative pieces, and they are throughout the home because I'm the only artist we could afford.
Alex's artistic eye led to the furniture choices. Several chairs in the living room are well-known modern designs.
I like and admire a lot of the modern period architects, Le Corbusier and Marcel Breuer and Mies van der Rohe, and a lot of them also designed furniture pieces.
The main living space is uncluttered, with a sparse design that blends well with Asian accents. Your eye is constantly drawn to playful vignettes. The family room has a calming feel, decorated in neutral tones. 3 Japanese maple branches become an intriguing piece of art, all from a tree in the yard that refused to take root. As an artist herself, Alex has a fresh approach to design. A child might be scolded for drawing on the walls, but in the powder room, it seemed like a great idea.
It needed something, so I took an opaque marker in black and just started doing the squiggles. Once they were finished, it was better than buying maybe a wallpaper that existed.
Always creating new ideas, Alex keeps one of the largest rooms in the house as her studio. But her workspace is more than functional. Aesthetics matter here, too. This Pasadena home reflects the owner's passion for modern design, but never loses sight of Mother Nature's handiwork just outside the glass doors.
It's so fortunate to live so near the city and then feel like you could be out in the country. I think that's one of the elements of South Grand that makes it so unique.
While the architecture along Pasadena's South Grand Avenue is diverse, the landscape gives each home a common bond. Nature and design are woven together, and the outcome is a warmly welcoming neighborhood street. Still ahead, on Pasadena's South Grand Avenue, a Victorian home shines with Midwestern charm. A farm-friendly fresh decor in sunny California. Next on Dream Drives.
You know, before Laura goes to college, I was thinking she could use her own car.
Sure.
VHIX.com makes it easy to design exactly the car you want.
You're giving our daughter that brand new $50,000 coupe.
No, I'm giving our daughter that slightly used hatchback in the garage.
Because when you're happy, everyone's happy.
This, just my replacement vehicle.
VHIX.com, roadmap to the automotive world.
So I went in for one of those $59 brake jobs. They called me later, said it was going to cost over $1,000, and that I couldn't drive home because it was too dangerous.
That happened to me, too.
Well, what did you do?
I called Huckabee Automotive. They checked my car and found that all I needed was a basic brake repair, and then charged me a fair price. They didn't try to sell me all the unnecessary work like all the other places try to do.
Now, how long did it take? A week?
No, it took 1 day, and for most repairs, that's all it takes.
I'm taking my car to Huckabee Automotive.
Why do so many people trust GMAC Real Estate? It's because our agents offer premier service. A commitment to service that caters to your specific needs. Which means whether you're buying or selling a home, we'll listen to your needs and get you where you want to be. It's no wonder we have an overwhelming 94% customer satisfaction rating. GMAC Real Estate. Service you deserve. People you trust.
If you listen, really listen, you can hear life all around you. Wonderful sounds of little things coming awake to greet the morn. Oh, joyous nature, harmonious in its viewed to be the best.
The open house sale is going on now at Pella Window and Door Stores. Make no payments for 6 months.
Unlike Juicy Juice, some juice drinks contain as little as 10% real juice. So we wondered, what would it be like if 10% were acceptable for other things in life?
Once upon a time, there was a beautiful princess. The end.
Obviously, 10% just doesn't cut it. That's why Juicy Juice is 100% juice with no added sugars or artificial flavors. Libby's Juicy Juice, 100% juice for 100% kids.
Read it again.
Welcome back to Dream Drives. While Los Angeles is fast-paced and trendy, 25 miles inland, Pasadena, California has a more laid-back, almost Midwestern feel. In fact, Pasadena's earliest settlers were from Indiana. Their imprint is still felt today in the home styles you'll find along South Grand Avenue. Driving down South Grand Avenue in Pasadena, there's a common thread to the architecture of the earliest homes.
There are homes on this street from the 1890s that you could pick up and put down in the Midwest and they'd feel right at home.
Early settlers imitated familiar designs from back home. A group from Indiana came to Pasadena to grow citrus, but ambitions changed when it became clear real estate was more profitable. Orange Grove was the first street of the settlers, so when South Grand was developed later, savvy marketers were ready.
It's no accident that they named the street Grand Avenue. That was a real estate promotion, and it still retains that quality.
Despite the boast, South Grand had fairly humble roots. This Victorian farmhouse was built in 1892 for a family from Milwaukee. For the current owners, Cindy and Norm Dupont, a sense of familiarity was an overwhelming attraction.
We've lived in Chicago. I grew up in Rockford, Illinois, and it just kind of felt like home.
We looked at it for 10 minutes and we purchased it on the spot. We had to have the house. I mean, that was just the bottom line.
For the Duponts, the front porch alone was a prime selling point.
I mean, this is why I love the front porch where it's at, because you can just see Grand Avenue and see the homes across the street, and it's just a really nice place to be and unwind from the day.
Inside, the Duponts have kept a casual farmhouse style. The living room is a wonderful mix of traditional furnishings and cherished antiques. Light green floral fabrics seem to take their cue from the lawn and garden beyond the window. The living room, divided into 2 cozy sitting areas, has a vintage appeal. Especially when you spot one of the old Victrola phonographs the DuPonts have collected over the years.
Well, those were just things that we just loved having around. We look at them as a piece of art. The horns are just the design on them, and it's fun for us.
Well, they just add to the ambiance of a home.
There's a nod to nostalgia in the dining room, too, where the DuPonts trace back to their Illinois roots. The oak table and chairs are from Chicago, and same with a wall sconce originally from a Pullman train car. But the chandelier, at least that was picked up nearby.
And the chandelier we found at the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, the Rose Bowl flea market. And Cindy said, Norm, look at that. And we looked at it and we said, okay, we'll buy it. And then we had it all polished up and rewired, and now that's hanging in our dining room.
The kitchen is updated for today's lifestyle. Still, it has an old country character. Farm implements decorate the walls, and animals are everywhere. In Cindy's own paintings, and even on a row of tiles.
This house just kind of demanded these.
It reminds her of the farm again, because they're all farm animals.
Yeah, I really do like animals.
The adjoining family room was added to the house in 1970. Red walls behind the shelves enliven the decor. This is where the DuPonts spend most of their time. Above the fireplace, Cindy's painting of Pasadena's landmark bridge adds a personal touch. While behind the sofa, an old wooden workbench brings back fond childhood memories.
Ever since I was just a little tyke, and my dad and I literally spent hours with that workbench.
Anything personal, it makes the house more homey or more ours.
Those personal items include many collectibles, even an original Edison phonograph. The DuPonts are proud to have preserved a slice of history in Pasadena. This old farmhouse is a testament to the enduring architectural legacy along South Grand Avenue.
I think South Grand reflects that Pasadenans care about their community, care about their homes. So it's just a very unique place to live, a comfortable place to live, and yet I think a very elegant place to live. And we're very proud of it in Pasadena.
Up next, the landscape surrounding a noted craftsman home is a garden wonderland along South Grand Avenue. Dream Drives in Pasadena returns after this.
Visit the at-home category on HGTV.com for hundreds of ideas and inspirational projects that will make your house a home. Coming up on the next Design Time Saturday night. At 9:30 on Designing for the Sexes, he sees comfort, she sees style.
I see a conflict, that's what I see.
Then at 10 on Designer's Challenge, getting 3 ideas for an out-of-date kitchen.
So we'd like to dress it up, and we don't know where to start.
And at 10:30 on Design on a Dime, how to make this living room fun for a baby, but stylish for an adult. HGTV's Design Time Saturday night. Tonight starting at 8 on HGTV.
At the Home Depot, we're driving down the cost of home improvement. Now is the time to buy carpet. Choose from over 3,000 styles, colors, and textures. And right now, get the carpet pad free with purchase of carpet and installation through the Home Depot at-home services. Plus, when you use your Home Depot credit card, pay nothing and get no interest for 6 months on purchases of $299 or more. At the Home Depot, we've got lower prices nailed.
You haven't just been sitting around your whole life. You've been training for the Lazy Boy National Recline-a-thon. Hurry in to your participating Lazy Boy retailer and put those sitting skills to use. And discover the recliner that's perfect for you. With so many to choose from and so many different features to try, all at a great low price, we promise you'll go home a winner. But hurry, like most great events, the Lazy Boy National Recline-a-thon is only on for a limited time.
gotta go, gotta go right now. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go right now. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go.
If you've always got to go, ask your doctor about Detrol LA. It's been proven effective for overactive bladder.
Anyone need a break?
Not right now.
You shouldn't take it if you have stomach, urinary, or glaucoma problems. The most common side effects are dry mouth, constipation, abdominal pain, and headache.
And I don't have to go right now.
Detrol LA, when you've always got to go.
If you've been investing in money funds, you've probably noticed your yields have slowed to a trickle. The strong, ultra-short-term income fund offers higher return potential and a 14-year history of proven performance. For an alternative to today's low yields, call 1-888-4STRONG. That's 1-888-4STRONG. We'll help you build a strong portfolio.
Welcome back to Dream Drives. I'm Tia Marlier. The first Tournament of Roses was held in 1890 to showcase Pasadena's mild winter climate. At that point, football had nothing to do with the Rose Parade. Along South Grand Avenue, a blooming landscape is evidence that green thumbs are still active today. Distinctive architecture is a hallmark of Pasadena's South Grand Avenue. But Mother Nature is the real artist.
I think the natural setting is really what makes South Grand unique. We have beautiful neighborhoods throughout Pasadena with distinguished homes, great architecture, but very few places in Pasadena could you find the quality of environment that you have here right on the banks of the Arroyo.
That's where the famous Pasadena architects Green and Green built one of their signature homes. Now owned by Mark and Phaedra Ledbetter, the house is surrounded by 3.5 acres with views of the Pasadena Courthouse and the Colorado Street Bridge.
Everything here has such an energy because of the plantings and the trees, and it's just sort of a magical place overlooking the Arroyo.
The Ledbetters took their home's overgrown property and began to transform it into several separate gardens. A shaded pergola is dripping with wisteria. Paths wind through fruit orchards and vegetables. Finally, you come upon the rabbit hutch in the children's garden, a miniature replica of the arts and crafts home. Hidden surprises lurk in the grass, while the Canary Island palm is a garden centerpiece you can't miss. The Ledbetters love the craftsman architecture of their home, the lush gardens, and their prime location near Old Town.
South Grand Avenue is just a beautiful street. It's filled with people who love gardening, who love their homes, who take care of, who value beauty, and beauty matters, and that's what South Grand, I think, shows.
The Ledbetter home was originally built by prominent businessman Henry Robinson. He hosted many dignitaries in his South Grand Avenue home, including 4 presidents: Hoover, Taft, Coolidge, and Wilson. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next time on Dream Drives.
From abolitionist Frederick Douglass to former slave Harriet Tubman, Homes of Our Heritage African-American Visionaries looks at where these famous freedom fighters lived. Sunday at 5 Eastern on HGTV.
Things here are from a castle in France.
One of the great architectural concepts of old world craftsmanship was to create different ceilings in the various rooms. Here you notice that we have beautiful oil paintings in the medallions, and the way they created it is it's poured plaster in molds rather than carved from wood. This is an octagon-shaped room, and we believe this was the gun room of the original hunting lodge.
The dark wood paneling was carved to match the 17th century English fireplace mantel. Both are original to this home. Are these gold walls?
Yes, this is 24-karat gold leaf. Isn't that something?
There's more gold in this dining room than in most jewelry cases in Beverly Hills.
The family room is proportioned so differently from that ballroom that you can understand the intimacy that can take place in this room.
Well, you know, it is quite large, but intimate in comparison to the ballroom, certainly.
It's classically detailed as you see the ceilings with the features of the interlocking geometric patterns of circles and diamonds of plaster. Very unusual, brought over from London in the 18th century. And notice this huge fireplace on the north wall. It features the carved wood and marble mantel.
Graceful and original arched doors lead out to the poolside garden. Upstairs, there are 6 family bedrooms, including the very private master suite. We begin with this elegant sitting room.
You'll notice the sound is different in here too because it's more subdued. The walls are padded.
The sitting room features a fireplace and built-in bar. Around the corner is the master bedroom. The bed is situated to look out to the views.
One of my favorite features of this property is the indoor-outdoor living aspect with the views and the vistas of Beverly Hills to downtown. This truly is a Beverly Hills treasure and always will be.
Stay with us because we've got an appointment to see a contemporary take on Santa Fe architecture.